Hello Blood Bowl fans and hello members of the ICBBL, because I know you guys are mostly the people who watch these videos. We're here with the Steel breakdown week 4 and 5. And it's going to be a bit of a difficult one to do because I have to look at 2 weeks worth of games in each one, so it's going to get a bit confusing. But thankfully a lot of you guys have helped me and you have given me rundowns and you've put them in the place where I asked you to put them. So thanks guys, that was great of you, really appreciate it. Let's start off where we always start then, with Steel Division A, where we have the 6 teams, and this one, well, they're all actually finished by the time I record. I am recording this before the end, so they're not actually all finished yet, but Steel A has finished already. And this is my first holiday back from videos. Yes, that's exactly what I wanted to say. Oi. This is my first video back from holiday, so if I'm a little bit rusty and if I do things a little bit strangely, then forgive me, but well, to be honest, I don't care. So we're going to do what we do, and hopefully it's not going to be too bad to watch. So, starting off with Division A, like I said already, we had Varkson's Kenry Judgment of the Worthy against Mint Nurgle Babies, the Nurgle team, and Nurgle Babies went 1-0. And Rotten Fang Runners, which is Hoy, and his Necromantic went 0-0 with uncancelled Scalebound, the Lizard team, who is run by... I have a name in my head, and I was right, it is Dranrab. Okay, that's good, and I'm going to confuse myself now. And Urban Zorro's Dead and Loving It went 1-3, which is really bad for Dead and Loving It, against Naofl's High Elf Skin Diseases. That's a shock, but good for Naofl. Really good for Naofl, well done there. And then, that was week 4. This is where it gets confusing. And week 5 this week, that's just gone, Naofl Skin Diseases won again. They went 1-0 against Min's Nurgle Babies, which is also a very good win. So well done to Naofl in these last few rounds. Actually, are these your first 2 wins? No, you managed to beat Hoy as well. And then you lost the first 2 games, if I remember rightly. Yeah, you did. Okay. Well, that's a good comeback for the Skin Diseases. I'm impressed. Well done. And Dranrab's uncancelled Scalebounds went 0-0 against Urban Zorro's Dead and Loving It, so I think Urban Zorro is 0-4-1. He didn't quite manage to do all draws. That's unfortunate. And Varkson's Kenry Judgment of the Worthy beat Hoy's Rotten Fang Runners. It is Hoy, isn't it? Let's just check. Yeah, Godric Gunnison Hoy. Yeah, same guy. Managed to beat them 3-0. Let's have a look at the actual games then. Right, this is going to get really confusing now. So, the way I'm going to do this basically is I'm going to pick the first team from week 4 and look at both of their games, and hopefully it won't get too confusing and I won't miss any team out. So the way I'm going to do it is we'll look at both of Judgment of the Worthy's games, and then whoever is the home team in the next game, both of their games, whoever's blah blah blah. I think you get it from what I'm saying. So for this game I did have a short breakdown from Mint. I thought I did from Varkson as well, but I can't find it, so I'm just going to use the Mint one. And sorry, I keep saying Mint, but he wants to be called Pixie Dust, so sorry. So, he has said, Pixie's Nurgle Babies versus Varkson, the Judgment of the Worthy. Nurgle Babies kicked off and played a safe drive, removing players and injuring a Tomb Guard. The Undead pushed on the left sideline, but the removal of the Tomb Guard to a 1-dice block made progress hard, and Skellies were trapped on the sidelines, and Ferrar forced into the crowd, and several daring moves failed to result in a score. Second half, 2-man down to the Babies, who methodically moved the ball downfield, removing Undead in the process for an easy turn 16 score. The key to the game was terrible injury rolls against the Kenry. Varkson played a great game, but what can you do when down men with Kenry? Not much. So, Pixie Dust did manage to win this match, 1-0. The Kenry team, Judgment of the Worthy, had 1 death, 4 armor breaks, and Blitzra got man of the match and actually leveled up. I'm going to have a look at the team in general after both games. I think it's going to be easier that way. And then Jackie the Morbid got man of the match on Pixie Dust's Noble team. 1 touchdown, 16 armor breaks. Alright. And then having a look at Judgment's second game, and I should have got this ready before I looked at it, but it's pretty much right in front of me. He says, there we go. I do have a breakdown from Varkson for this game, the 3-0 win to Judgment of the Worthy. He's done level ups first, which is confusing, so let's just move down. Khemri won the toss and decided to kick. Nuffle favoured the Khemri with a blitz that resulted in a dead zombie and allowed significant early pressure. A turnover close to the end zone resulted in the Priest of Thoth crossing for a touchdown on turn 5. Further positioning and unfortunate rerolls for the Necromantic team allowed the High Priest of Karnak to score in turn 7. Second half was a slow beatdown by the Khemri as they steadily moved up the field to have the High Priest of Montu cross in turn 16. Note, both werewolves were significantly harmed, see killed, in the making of this broadcast. Aha. Wow, that's pretty sick. Unlucky to Hoy, he lost both wolves apparently. So the Khemri team, Priest of Thoth, got man of the match, which is a skeleton, and we had 3 touchdowns and 12 armor breaks. Then on Gotrek Gunnarsson Hoy's side, 0 touchdowns, 3 deaths, including both wolves apparently, and 6 armor breaks, with Count Dooku getting man of the match. That's pretty sick, with the 2 wolves, and I forgot to look at the SPP in the last match, sorry. But in this match then, we had 10, 12, 22 against 7. And let's have a quick look at the last SPP because I forgot. Just 5 on Judgment of the Worthy side, and Nurgle Babies got 5, 7, 9, 11, 13, 17, no 18, can't count, and 20. 20 against 5. Alright, let's have a look at Judgment of the Worthy then, this is where it's going to get really confusing. So, I do actually have a group of level ups here. So Priest of Thoth, High Priest of Karnak, and High Priest of Montu. Both Blitz Rouse. Where are they? There's one, there's the other, and the where is he? Priest of Thoth at the top. Okay, so we have a dirty player, we have a piling on Blitzra, and we have a plus strength Blitzra. This is becoming a very nice Khemri team. And we have an injury that is just missed next game on Priest of Amun. There is a minus agility here as well, but well, skeletons don't need agility. They definitely don't need minus agility, but they don't need agility. 4,000 to spend if he wants to. I don't see him using that. Could do with getting another team reroll at some point though, probably, because 2 just isn't enough for Khemri really. Actually, I think High Priest of Karnak leveled up twice. I don't think this Mighty Blow is here, so Mighty Blow and Piling On for High Priest of Karnak. Yeah, he got man of the match in the first game, didn't he? There we go then. That's it for Judgment of the Worthy. I'm going to do this in teams because it's easier now, I guess. So, moving on to team number 2 in Steel Division A. Alright, team 2, game 2 as well, in week 4, was Hoy's Rotten Fang Runners, or Gotrek Gunnarsson's Rotten Fang Runners against Dranrab's Uncancelled Scalebound. I've heard nothing about any of Hoy's games, so I'm going to move on from that. We'll just go through the statistics of both games. We just saw the one against Varkson, but I'll look at it again in a second, and I'm looking at the wrong page, I think, but never mind. So we have 8 armor breaks and expulsion, and man of the match on Flesh Golem, Frank Castle. 0-0, with 2 deaths on the Lizard side, including a skink who died getting MVP, which sucks, and 9 armor breaks. In terms of SPP, we had 7, 11, 13, and 5, this one's dead, so 4. Potentially, assuming that none of these 2 died as well, we have 4 on this team. I am on the wrong page, I'm sure of it. Yeah, so let's find Rotten Fang Runners. And having a look at the second game again, I know I've just gone through it, but we had Count Dooku and Frank Castle both got SPP. So let's have a look at the team with both wolves dead. I guess this team is going to disappear at the end of the season, though, I don't know, maybe Hoy is mad and he decides to keep it around. That'd be pretty funny. So we got Mighty Blow on Frank Castle, that wasn't there before. And that's it. Yeah, if this team isn't dead, I don't know what dead is. But, like I say, maybe he'll surprise us. With only 4,000 to spend though, the only thing he's replacing is the zombie, and he's actually down a player, I think. 9, 10, yes he is. So he could buy a zombie, but I don't think it's really worth it. So there we go. Interestingly, he hasn't actually kept any of the dead lizards. Maybe they were both skinks, then they wouldn't have become a zombie. That's possible. Alright. Well, yeah, that's it for Gottfried Gurnason's necromantic team, both in this video and I think in life, though we never know. We never know. On to team number 3. Alright, starting from Division B, I'm going to be doing this differently because this is a really weird way of doing it. But moving on to game number 3 of week 4 and team number 3, which is Urban Zorro's Dead and Loving It. Game number 3 of week 4 saw Urban Zorro against Naofel. Naofel managed to win with his High Elf Skin Diseases, 3-1 against Urban Zorro's Dead and Loving It. I don't know what went wrong here, but something must have gone horribly wrong because Urban Zorro didn't even tell me about the game. So I assume that it was a bit of a rough one for Urban Zorro at least. We have a touchdown, a pass, 11 arm breaks, and 2 expulsions, lots of fouling for the undead, for the necromantic Dead and Loving It. And the Skin Diseases have 3 touchdowns, 3 passes, a death, and 7 armor breaks. Exma, the lineman, got MVP, and Amy Whitehouse, the White, also got MVP, both leveled up off the back of this. I'm looking at the wrong page again, I just realised. And Dead and Loving It, we've got 9, 11, 13. And Skin Diseases, we've got 11, 14, 16, 19. Okay. And where are we? Dead and Loving It. And he managed to go 0-0 against Dranrab, where there was another death on the Lizard team. The Lizards got pretty badly smacked the last couple of games. And 11 armor breaks for the Lizards. I also have heard nothing about this game. And the Skink got man of the match, and look at his little dancing face. Oh, I like skinks, they're cute. This time, not a dead Skink getting MVP. And then 10 armor breaks, that's it on the necromantic side, with Richie Violence getting MVP and leveling up off the back of it. In terms of SPP then, we've got 9 for Uncancel Scalebound, and we've got 9 for Dead and Loving It. Let's have a look at the Dead and Loving It team then. So, he's got 60,000 to spend straight away. He can potentially buy another zombie, but I don't think he will. There's no point. And 2 zombies are actually out. Are they both just in this next game? This next game. And this next game. I don't think this is quite the start he wanted, Urban Zorro wanted in his necromantic league, though we may see this going up to bronze. I don't think he's decided yet, though I think that he will probably take this team up to bronze. So we've got this Mighty Blow is new, and I think this Mighty Blow is also new, and I am certain that this dodge is new, but I think the block was there already. So that's it for Urban Zorro's team. Not the start he wanted for this team, I'm sure. And I don't think we're likely to see them continuing, though I know he does want to give up the peasants, so we actually are likely to see this team continuing. So hopefully they'll be able to recover from a pretty poor start. Though to be fair to them, the team is still full, they've got no long-term injuries, nothing's dead. They can certainly grow from where they are. So that's it for team number. Alright, then moving on to team number 4, we have Naofel's Skin Diseases, the High Elf team, and we've already seen their week 4 match. This is their week 5 match. Skin Diseases fought off against Nurgle Babies, this is Pixie Dust, and they managed to win 1-0. I don't think I had a rundown from this game either, though if I have missed your rundowns, I'm sorry, I did ask you to put them all in the Steam page so I could see them, and if you didn't do that, then I have been ignoring them, mostly. Though I don't think I heard anything about this game anyway, so that's fine. And for the Skin Diseases, we have 1 touchdown, 3 passes, 3 armor breaks, and Catcher, MVP, level up. And for Nurgle Babies, we have 1 pass, 11 armor breaks, and Pestigore, MVP, level up, apparently. Okay. Yeah, he got 6, so that makes sense. So, yeah, thanks. Itch Typhosis got 6, so 6, 8, 11. Against 10, 14. Let's have a look at the Skin Disease team. They've only got 9 players left, and the Catcher, what's happened to him? He's just got this next game, that's not so bad. And I think we are going to see this team promote. He has said that he's thinking about it, so there is that. And what do we have here? We have a new dodge that wasn't there before. And we have a new dodge that wasn't there before. And interesting that a catcher has nerves of steel. Was that there before? I'm not sure, but still, that's an interesting choice for a catcher. It's normally what you see on the thrower, but there we go. I don't know, this team has developed relatively slowly, but relatively nicely. Not so bad, mostly. Does nerves of steel affect catch? I don't think it does. Oh, it does actually. Attempts to pass, catch, or intercept. Okay, so nerves of steel makes perfect sense then. Fair enough. That's a good choice. I wouldn't think about that, but I've never looked that hard at the skill. I thought it only affected the pass. So there we go. What else to say here really? There's 30,000 to spend, which isn't really going to help him. He's going to go into the first game of bronze with a very crippled team, but after that hopefully he can replace one of the missing pieces and then develop from there. So look forward to seeing more of him in bronze. And well done for turning the season around. Impressive. That's it for team number 4. Alright, moving on to team number 5 then. We have already seen this breakdown, but still, having a look at team number 5, which is the Lizards and Uncancelled Scalebound. We have seen both the games already, and I am going to be doing this better in BCD, so don't know why I chose to do it this way first, but I have done, I'm going to stick with it, don't want to redo it all. So I've actually already had a look at both games. Let's have a look at the team. Uncancelled Scalebound. Where are they? There they are. So with their 3 deaths, and it looks like they lost a Saurus and 2 Skinks. That looks plausible. They're actually down to 9 players, and the team hasn't really managed to develop that much. We have a Skink with minus armor as well, which really sucks. A guard on a Croxigore, and Surefeet on Little Bolt. I'd like to see this Lizard team continue because, well, Dranrab I think has mostly done quite well. Let's have a quick look. He's gone 1-3-1, which isn't bad for a first season, and he has said that he's quite a new coach. He does have a lot of gold though. Oh, he must have not spent that before game 4, which would have given some free inducements to his opponent. So he's got 250,000 to spend, so he can definitely replace the Source, and he can replace the Skink, and we may well see this team in bronze. He can even buy another team reroll, which may not be such a bad idea. 3 is not so bad. So yeah, I'd actually like to see this team continue. They haven't managed to develop much, but Lizards do take time to develop. The only thing that's a shame is that he's got no level ups on Sauruses, whichever plural you want to use. But he does have 3 that are close to leveling up, and he also has 2 Skinks that are within range of leveling up. Maybe want to fire this one though, to be honest, and replace him with a fresh Skink. No, buy the last Saurus back, buy another Skink, and this team is still good to go. Buy both Skinks, and the team is looking pretty good actually to continue into next season. I'd like to see them continue anyway. I'd like to see Dranrab continue to grow as a coach. Look forward to seeing him play some more. I haven't seen him play, but I look forward to seeing him play in general. That's it for team number 5. Alright, the last team to look at in this league then, in this division, sorry, not in the league, in the division, is Pixie Dust's Nurgle Babies. And I have had a look at both matches, but let's just remind ourselves. They went 1-0 against Judgment of the Worthy, and they went 0-1 against the Skin Diseases. Let's have a look at the team as they are developing. The only thing that I don't think was here before, no, that was here before, I'm pretty sure. No, that's new, definitely. The only thing that wasn't here before, I think, was this plus movement. Otherwise, he's gone mostly block, which is fair, and it's a very sensible route. And he's got nothing, actually. Tentacles are already there on the Beast of Nurgle. The Nurgle team has developed relatively nicely. I'm not sure if Mint is already in bronze. I think he is. I may be losing my mind though. We may see this Nurgle team creeping into bronze next season, though. We'll have a look later on. He has got 1100,000 to spend. Yes, I'm not going crazy, I'm speaking American though for some reason, which I can't really see him spending. He may as well keep it for now. And that's actually it for the last team. Let's have a look at the way it's all broken down then. So finishing with the leaderboard then. The leaderboard is finally over. Now, I'm trying to remember my original, oh, I can't talk now. I'm trying to remember my original predictions for this season, and I definitely said one of the necromantic teams, so that's gone bust. I did say that the Lizardmen were an outside chance, which is also not an option, and I said Varkson was likely to be near the top, so at least I was right with that. The High Elves have surprised me, but that's really good to see, and these two teams are going to promote. We've got Varkson's Khemri, and Nauthl's High Elves. Skin Diseases and Judgment of the Worthy are both going to the knockout stages. Unlucky for Pixie Dust, who just missed out, and unlucky for the other three teams that are all at the bottom. In terms of what we're likely to see in the future, of course we're going to see these two teams in the knockout stages, and then we'll see where they go from there, whether they promote or not. I wouldn't be too surprised to see Pixie Dust promote this team, because he does like Noble, and I can't remember off the top of my head if he does have a team in bronze. I'm sure he does, but I can't remember what it is. And the Lizardmen, I'd like to see them continue, but I don't know if Dranrap wants to continue with the team. Though it's not a bad start, especially for a new coach. I think Urban Zorro is taking on the necromantic team because nothing died, and he does want to break from the peasants, that much I know. And I can't see Gotrek keeping his necromantic team. The team is basically dead. Though, you never know, he may surprise us. Well, that's it for Division A. Let's move on to Division B. Alright then, moving on to Division B, and I'm going to change the format now. Instead of looking at the matches, I'm going to have a look at the teams, because I think it's the better way of doing it. But we'll still have a look at the matches overall, we'll have a look at the teams, then we'll have a look at the leaderboard at the end, and we'll see who has managed to make it to the playoff. So, for Week 4 then, Paws of Fury, Top Hat, went 1-2 against Rivertown Cheese Monsters, Chris J. I have a feeling this was an admin win, but I wasn't here. Let's have a quick look when I'm here. No, it wasn't an admin win, sorry, it wasn't at all. And then Purple Blepple lost 0-1 against Fistulin and the Fisters, which is Ryan's Dwarf team, and Jeshi's Noble team. Wibblegothy Hose, the Dark Elves of Ook, went 1-1 against Wooden PC Gaming, who is Saimai, who came in for Dead Air. Yeah, Dead Air is gone, and now Saimai has replaced him. So he's only playing 2 games though, and he's not going to promote, so no matter where he ends, he's going to finish basically at bottom. But he did go 1-1 against the Skaven. And then Week 5 we had Paws of Fury again, the Skaven team, when admin lost to Saimar. Fishlin and the Fisters, the Dwarf team, lost 0-1 against the Skaven, against the Dark Elf, sorry, Wibblegothy Hose. And Rivertown Cheese Monsters won 4-1, which is pretty impressive, against Purple Blurple, the Noble team. Unlucky to Jeshi though, that must have been a hard match. That's it for the games. Let's have a look at the teams. Alright then, having a look at team number 1 in Division B, Chris J's Rivertown Cheese Monsters Skaven. There were 2 games. Game number 4, I have a breakdown, so let's have a look at that first. Silver League Week 4, that's not right, that's Silver League. Never mind. Maybe I don't have this game, then let's check. Checking. That's a rat-off. Oh, I gotta get better at this. This is really bad. Nope, don't have anything from this game. No, don't have anything from this game. So, moving on then. So, we got 1 touchdown, 1 pass, 1 def, 10 armor breaks, with the lineman getting MVP, and that was Top Hat's team. And on Chris J's team, this is the rat-off. I do have the rat-off. Hang on then. I just said I had the rat-off. It's right here. I do have a quick breakdown. I'm on the wrong page. Why am I on the wrong page? There we go. Paws of Fury, Disco Panda, Top Hat versus Rivertown, Cheese Monsters, Chris J, level up on Rat Ogre, blah blah blah. Paws of Fury took advantage of Bloodvisor Babe's support and had more players throughout the match, but Cheese Monsters managed to secure the ball and held tight, winning 2-1. That was
worth waiting for. Thank you for the breakdown, Chris. You've actually given me the levels as well, which helps. So 2 touchdowns, 1 interception, 14 armor breaks, and Storm Vermin getting MVP. We've got 5, 10, 13 against 10, 21. And this last game I have a breakdown for this as well. This one was ready, and now I've lost it again. Of course I have. Here we go, it's here. So, week 3, Purple Blurple Jeshi. The Rats dominated the pitch despite being short-handed most of the match. Also, Nurgle had such a foul appearance that at one point the Rats were disgusted 3 times in a row. Interesting. So, there are some level ups on this team, there's quite a few, but we'll get off that in a second. 4 touchdowns, 8 arm breaks, and an expulsion. And Ratfetter got man of the match and leveled up. And Nurgle team 1 touchdown, 9 armor breaks, and 1 expulsion. 4-1 win, which is pretty good for Chris J, but it's hard for Jeshi. And Nurgle Warrior got MVP, at least. So we've got 5, 10, 19, 21 against 10. Having a look at the team itself then, there are a couple of level ups. He has told me about them. So Ratfetter got guard, Rat Gouda got guard, and Rat Ogre got guard, and Line Rat got strength plus. So strength plus, guard, guard, guard. That's pretty straightforward. And there's a lineman out with miss next game. He's got 90,000 to spend, though I don't see him spending that on anything, to be honest, unless he wants 1 more Line Rat, I guess. Or 1 more thrower, but that'd be crazy. So 1 more Line Rat may happen, may not. And let's have a look how they managed to do. So Chris J actually finished the season with 5 wins, no draws, and no losses. He had a perfect season. So congratulations to Chris J there. We'll have a look at the table when I'm done with all the teams though. That's it for team number 1. Let's move on to team number 2.
Alright then, moving on to team number 2, Roranus and his Fistulan and the Fistas, this dwarf team. They've survived. They went 1-0 against Yeshi's Purple Blurple, and they went 0-1 against Oog's Ubergothihos. So, let's have a look then. We had a death for Purple Blurple and 6 armor breaks. And Nurgle Warrior leveled up with the MVP, and for the Dwarves, which is more important at the moment, 1 touchdown, 8 armor breaks, and Longbeard got MVP but didn't level up. That's strong Longbeard at that. SPP was 5, and all of the Fistas got it 5, 5, and 2, making it 12. And then for this game, this is the first time I'm talking about it, so let's do the rundown now on Oog's side. Where are you, Oog? Luck, the draw's no good. No. Really? I don't have this one? Oh, there it is. So, Steel, League Division D, Week 5. No. Ah, let's undo. That's not Oog. And I don't have it for Steel. That's surprising. Just double checking that, because that doesn't sound right. Oog hasn't given me a rundown? Really? Really? Okay, never mind. So there is no rundown for this game, funnily enough. Okay, so 15 arm breaks and an expulsion with Blitzer MVPing, but no level up. And Dark Elves, just have a look at it quickly. I will be having a look at them in a second though. 1 touchdown, 6 armor breaks, and Lineman MVP level up. Quick Fister the runner got 5, and Fister got 2, making it 7, and 8 on the Dark Elf side. Let's have a look at the Dwarf team. So then, Quick Fister are Blitzers actually. Okay, that's fair enough. We actually have 2 plus strength. Would you believe it? That really happened. I would be really shocked if Uranus doesn't keep this team, because that is a fantastic development. And he has 70,000, so he can actually afford Fister number 9 if he wants to. Interesting. We may well see that, or he may buy something else. And that's it in terms of development. So let's have a look at his final record. He went 1-1-3. May well see these go into bronze. Kind of hope we do. I'd like to see Uranus in the higher ranks, but who knows. That's it for team number 2. And team number 3 then, we've got the Ubergothihos from Oog, the Dark Elf team. And
let's see what he did in the end then. He played against Wooden PC Gaming, which was a replacement team from Cyma, and he played Fistlin and the Fisters. We just looked at that game a second ago. He drew against Cyma, so let's have a look. 1 touchdown, 1 pass, 4 armor breaks, and some fouling. An expulsion, and Witch Elf leveled up from the MVP. And Wooden PC Gaming got 1 touchdown, 1 pass, 11 armor breaks. And Blitzer leveled up with MVP. And 11 against 17. Let's have a look at the second game. Sorry, didn't mean to do that. This game we've already looked at, but let's have a look at it again on the Dark Elf side. So 1 touchdown, 6 armor breaks, and lineman MVP'd, and we had 8. So let's see what happened to the Dark Elves then. We have a Blitzer with minus movement that I think was already there actually, and that leveled up. Witch Elf did get block. We still only have the 1 team reroll, which is bad news, and we've only got 40 in the bank. There's a full team of 11 though, and oh, we do have the leader actually. That helps a little bit, so we do have 2 team rerolls technically, so long as the runner doesn't get butchered, which it is likely to do. And I don't think anything else is new. I think this block was already here. I think the leader is new actually, I don't remember it. Or maybe it wasn't. No, I don't think it is new. Either way though, still need the second reroll realistically, even with the leader. 3 reroll is better than 2. Well, 2.5 I would call leader, because you can always lose it. 11-man roster. No money to spend, and don't think made it... Oh, and also made it through to the playoffs. Okay, we're going to see them in the playoffs, so no decision yet as to whether he's going to keep his Skaven, much more likely, or if he'll take this team into bronze, though I'm more likely to... I would put money on seeing the Skaven continue, not the Dark Elves, personally. Yeah, we're going to see him in the playoff then, because he has the record of 3-1-1. That's it for team number 3. Having a look at team number 4 then, Joshi's Purple Blurple, the Noble team. It looks like it mostly survived, though there are a few rotters missing at the very least. They lost 1-0 against Uranus and his dwarfs, unfortunately. We've already seen this game, so there's 1 death, which is hard, and 6 armor breaks for Purple Blurple, with the Noble Warrior getting man of the match, and he just got 5 from that game. And the other game we've also already seen, just remind ourselves of the Noble. Another Noble Warrior got man of the match and leveled up, 9 armor breaks, 1 expulsion, 1 touchdown. And he managed to get 10 from that game, so let's have a look at the team. Floofy Flubber Blubber hasn't yet taken his level up, but I guess he's going to go block, because the other 2 have gone block. And I think the only thing that have died have been rotters, though I hope that's the case anyway. And there's only actually 1 member missing from the team, so it's not bad. We could see this team going into bronze. Hard to say. 100,000 to spend as well, so we may see a second Pestigore, or... yeah, second Pestigore. That's the only real option at the moment. Either way, it doesn't look like this team did too badly. Let's have a look overall. Well, they lost all 5 games, but I mean, in terms of development, they didn't do too badly. It's pretty hard for a new coach, though, which Joshi is. So, fair play for surviving, and I hope you do choose to continue, but I'd understand if you don't. And that's it for this team. I lost track of the numbers. Moving on to team 5 then, Top Hat's Paws of Furies. No, Paws of Fury, the Skaven team. We've seen one of these games, but not the other one. So we've already seen this game, so let's just remind ourselves of what happened to Paws of Fury. 1 touchdown, 1 death, 1 pass, 10 armor breaks, and 5, 10, 13 on the SPP. And sorry, the MVP went to a lineman. And then this game we haven't seen yet. This is Paws of Fury against Wooden PC Gaming, Cyma, who replaced a previous team from, I think, Flip Dog. We had 1 touchdown, and that's it, because it was an admin game. Of course it was. And the thrower got MVP. So let's have a look at the actual team. They're down to 10 players, but they can replace 1, or 2 if they want to. 2 if they want to, ha ha ha. Anyway, the thrower and the lineman have both leveled up, but Top Hat hasn't had time to look at the team yet. And other than that, I think this Mighty Blow is already here, so otherwise the team is the same as it was before. They will obviously finish the season, and they managed to go 1-1-3, which is not the best record, especially for Skaven, but he missed a couple of games, so a couple of losses have been through admin work, I think. I think he's going to continue with his dwarves in gold, but we may well see this team return. I'm not sure. Depends how bored he is with the dwarves, or if he wants to continue with his murderous dwarves. That's it for team number 5. And lastly then, team 6, Papillon's Wooden PC Gaming, the human team that came in to replace Flitdog in the last 2 weeks. The point of this team was just to give the other coaches a game. He wasn't ever going to promote this team, so their record doesn't actually matter. I won't even look at it if I remember not to look at it. But let's have a look at the 2 games he did manage to play. So he managed to play against the Ubergothy Hose, Ooks Dark Elves, and they went 1-1. I've already had a look at this game, I believe. So we got 1 touchdown, 1 pass, 4 armor breaks, and an expulsion against 1 touchdown, 1 pass, 11 armor breaks. That's MVP for Witch Elf, MVP for Blitzer. It's quite late here now, so sorry, I'm losing my thought process a little bit. And we've gone for 10, 15, 17 SPP. And the last game we've also already looked at, which was an admin win, the Blitzer got MVP. And let's have a look at the team, because that's the only thing that we really need to look at. This team is not going into bronze, it's going back into wood. And the Blitzer that leveled up has been given guard, actually. It was this piece, I think. Oh no, it was this piece. Well, either way, it's been given guard. We have 1 guard, 1 Mighty Blow, 1 guard. We haven't looked at this team at all. 2 blocks on the catches, and the thrower has also been given block. He has 50,000 to spend. We may see 1 more lineman. He's got a team of 11 at the moment, so maybe not. Dwarves. Humans don't actually need the 1 more. So fair enough. This team goes back to wood. Bye bye team. Thank you for filling in the gap. There is no next week, of course, so we're just going to have a look at how this season ended for Division B. Chris J is the winner of Division B with 5 wins, and he will go to the playoff from here. And the Dark Elf Ubergothy Hose from Ook has come second, joint with the Humans of Papillon, though they've only played 2 games. So 3-1-1 to Ook, and he will also go into the playoff. Top Hat came third with 1-1-3. Uranus joined third, with 1-1-3 as well, so Uranus and Top Hat the same score, Skaven and Dwarf. And Joshi's Noble unfortunately finished with 5 losses, so unlucky Joshi. That's it for Division B. I've been looking at my predictions from before. My predictions were that Chris would be at the top, and he is. I also saw good things for, one of the Skaven team, I said, and I backed the Dwarves, and that was obviously a good thing to back. I also gave Purple Blurple an outside chance, which wasn't so good either, unfortunately. And I basically said this one was wide open, to be fair, and it was. But Chris J was at the top, like I predicted. So that's it for Division B. Alright, moving on to Division C then, which is my division. So we got 2 weeks worth of games, and let's have a look then. Organic Food. Yacinde's Orcs managed to beat Darth Physicist's Kill Men's the same way as he managed to beat my Chaos. Yacinde has been the bane of all of us this season, and Lucas Caller's Flagellant Flailers beat Arizona Wildfire, but it was actually an admin win. Arizona Wildfire is basically a bye now, so Lucas Caller basically got a bye. And I managed to beat Dancing Jesters of Athel. The game is below if you do want to see it. Following on from that, in week 5 this week, Dancing Jesters of Athel is led by Sfaho, and Arizona Wildfire is led by Scuff, and they're both Wood Elf teams. But Scuff hasn't been around for a good 25 or so days. And this week then, the Yacinde's Orcs managed to beat the Wood Elves of Sfaho. I got the bye against Scuff, and Darth Physicist's Kill Men's managed to take down Lucas Caller's Chaos Dwarfs, Chaos against Chaos Dwarfs for the 2nd time. And Lucas unfortunately lost both of those matches as well, so Chaos have been his bane this season. having a look at the first team then, because the first team is mine, may as well do it in one go. So, my 2 games. Dancing Justice of Aphel is actually below in the video description, not in the description, in the library. You can find it if you want to watch it. It was a very unlucky game for Sfaho, to be honest. It could have gone either way, but injuries really hurt him. So, for Prince of Hell, we've got 2 touchdowns, 9 armor breaks, and Sarragon leveled up with 6 SPP. Sfaho's Dancing Justice of Aphel got a touchdown, 2 passes. They had a death, which was a War Dancer, unfortunately, and 4 armor breaks. And then looking at the SPP then, we've got 10, 15, 17 against 10. And the game this week was an admin win, 2 touchdowns and MVP on Gorgon. Morrigan, the Minotaur, and Ralph, the Beast, both all got the SPP. So the Minotaur got one of the touchdowns, which is awesome. My team at the end of the season then. Right. First things first, I'm going to do this in front of you all now. I've got 1,200 and I'm 120,000, sorry. And I'm going to break my promise where I said I wasn't going to bring any players back. I'm going to actually bring back the 2 dead players because they only had 1 game and I feel sad about it. So I'm going to bring the 2 that have actually died back to life. Oh dear. And I forgot what... no. I forgot which face Gorgon has. He has this face, okay. Because Gorgon and Groll, of course, are twins. Which face is that exactly? It's this one, isn't it? There we go then. So, there we go. The 2 dead princes... sorry, one of them is a prince, one of them is just a guard. Are now back. Yay! And the only thing that's new on this team is that Sarragon got sure hands. Everything else is as it was before. So, and I think I bought the Triad after the game against Sfaho. So, yeah, I now have all 4 warriors, Minotaur, and now a team of 12. And I do actually have 2 more beast names to use, but I'm probably only going to buy 1 more maximum because you don't need more than 12, to be honest, in a beast in a chaos team. 13 is maximum. And anyway, that's it for team number 1, my team, the Prince of Hell. Oh no, let's have a look, sorry, I forgot. Having a look at statistics then, we actually managed to go 3-1-1, which is exactly the same as Darth Physicist's record, which means that Darth and I will actually, by the decision of the board, we'll be playing a friendly to decide which of us goes into the knockout. That will be happening hopefully sometime this week, so good luck to Darth on that. We have 1 more game to go. Otherwise, that's it for Team 1. Moving on to Team 2. Alrighty, having a look at Team number 2 then in Division C, Lucas Kohler and his Flagellant Flailers, the Chaos Dwarves. And his last 2 games, he won via admin against Arizona Wildfire. This is Scuff. And he lost to Darth's Kill All Men's, which is a shame for me. So having a look at these games then, this was just a very standard system with Chaos Dwarf getting MVP and leveling up. Top Hat scored, and as did Why Am I Doing This? That's 3 dwarves, I believe. I'm not going to bother looking at Scuff. And then against Kill All Men's then, let's just have a look at the dwarf team first. So 1 pass, 4 armor breaks, MVP on Chaos Dwarf again. And we got 2 touchdowns, pass, interception, 14 armor breaks. Beastman got MVP. And looking at the SPP here, we got a 6 against 8 plus 6 is 14. Having a look at the team roster then, we got a Chaos Dwarf with minus movement. Doesn't hurt him too much, to be honest, if he's used as lineman fodder. Did we have all 6 before? I think we did actually. Yeah, I think we did have all 6. Yes, we did definitely. I remember these names. I'm not sure there was a Mighty Blow though before. And that was definitely there before. And that was definitely there before. So not too much development on this team actually. It's particularly interesting to see if Lucas Kohler does decide to continue with this team, as he is a adamant hater of Chaos Dwarves, and he was forced into this, but I would like to see if he actually does go on to bronze with them. That would be quite funny. Though, to be honest, I don't think he will. I think he'll stop after this season. And, yeah, 13-man team, it's developing nicely. There's quite a few within range of leveling up. I can see it going further, but knowing Lucas, I don't think he'll push into bronze. And he ended 2-0-3, and he has admitted that both wins were admin wins, so there we go. Don't know why I'm looking at the history. That's it for the Flatulent Flailers. Moving on to team number 3. For team number 3 then, we have Lucas Caller's last opponent actually, Dark Physicist and his Chaos team, Kill All Men's, my main opposition throughout this season. And we ended up with the same record, funnily enough. But let's have a look at his last 2 games then. His game against the Orcs didn't go too well for him, he lost 3-0, and his game against Flagellant Flailers did go well for him, he won 2-0. So let's have a look at this one first of all then. The Orcs went 3 touchdowns, 9 armor breaks, and MVP level up on Black Orc. The Chaos went 6 armor breaks, and MVP no level up on Beastman. SPP was 5 only, and there was 20 on the Orc side, so the Orcs destroyed both Chaos teams. Then against the Chaos Dwarves, we had 2 touchdowns, pass, interception, 14 armor breaks, and Beastman again MVPing. And I've already had a look at the Chaos Dwarves. So we've gone 5, 6, 11, 14. Let's have a look at the team then. 12-man team. It's developing relatively nicely. He's gone Almighty Blow on the Chaos Dwarves, and I don't think any of them were there before. Maybe one, though I don't even remember the one, to be honest. And we've gone 3 blocks. At least one of the blocks was there before, but I think the other 2 are new. So we have quite a few levels. He's got 140 in the bank as well. I don't really see him spending that on anything though, because a 12-man roster is enough for Chaos, if not too much. I mean, 11 is usually fine, to be fair. I know that my season hasn't shown that, but generally speaking, 11 is pretty good for a Chaos team. Though if he wants to do some fouling, then of course 13 is always better. He's also got the last Chaos Warrior within range of leveling, so, and also 2 beasts within range of leveling, so I can see him continuing this team into bronze. Darth is new to the league, so I would be happy to see him continue. And he finished 3-1-1. There we go then. That's it for Darth Physicist and team number 3. And team number 4. Sorry, I forgot which team I was doing. Team number 4 is actually the team led by Scuff, who has basically become a bye team because he hasn't been here for so long. But I will have a quick look at him, though he's lost both his games via admin, so he's basically out of the league. But I'll have a very quick look at him. And he's managed to finish the league with a team intact because he only played the first 2 games and he lost the 2 of them quite horribly, unfortunately. And he's the team where everybody looks exactly the same. He bought the Treeman but never actually used it. That's kind of sad. But anyway, he's still only got the 1 team reroll, but he can afford to buy a new one if he wants to keep this team going, though I don't think we'll let him into bronze, but still, just in case. And he's got 2 level ups he can do on the lineman. So there's that. That's this team basically. That's all I'm going to say about this team. Statistics, of course, he went 0-0-5, unfortunately. He only actually played the first 2 games, the other 3 were admin losses. That's it for team number 4. Alright then, and moving on to team number 5, Yacinde's Organic Food. And they've had a good season. I think they've won every game. I'm sure they've won every game, actually. Let's double check. Yes, they have. 5-0-0. There we go. So, the game that we saw a couple of minutes ago against Kill All Men's, they went 3-0, and they went 2-1 against Svarho's Dancing Jesters of Athel, the Wood Elf team. I've already had a look at this side, but let's have a look here then. 3 touchdowns, 9 arm breaks, Black Orc leveled up, Gorklick, and we had 20 on the team, so we may see some development there. And against this Wood Elf team, and they managed to get a score this time at least, so 2 touchdowns, a pass, 16 arm breaks, and an expulsion. He's been pretty big on fouling, has Yacinde this season, and lineman got MVP. And the Wood Elves went 1 touchdown, 1 pass, 2 arm breaks, and loner lineman got SPP MVP, but didn't level up. So we got 16, 26, I don't know, 16 against 9. Let's have a look at the team roster then. So, that's a good point. Yasinde also gave me breakdowns. Sorry, let's go back and have a look then. Right then, this one first off. Where are we, Yasinde? Steel League Division C, Week 4. There we go. The Chaos team tried to get rid of my Black Hawk Broccoli via an 8-man going foul, gang foul, sorry, in turn 1. Fantastic. The Orcs became angry and hurt the Chaos team without remorse. Orcs didn't get hurt this match at all, but the Chaos team wasn't that lucky. Removing 3 players of the Chaos, one of them being a Chaos Warrior, made the match completely one-sided. And then he's talking about levels. That's fine. We'll come back to that then. And there's lots from Yasinde, so just going to find the next one. There we go. And this one, Yasinde again. Steel League Division C, Week 5. Organic Food, Svarho's Dancing Gestures of Afel. So I took the Goblin Master Chef, which did surprise me. He wrote he doesn't take his team seriously, so he wants the chef as a gag. He stole 1 reroll each half, which wasn't too bad. The Orcs received first and bashed their way to a turn 8 score. It was the first score of Karox, the thrower. Sadly, he got KO'd in the second half, so after the Orcs stole the ball, another player had to score on turn 15. Kaborkskis. Oh, God. Cabbages with Orc in it. A blitzer. I could have stalled, but Elven bullshit could have cost me the touchdown. The Wood Elves did a nice one-turn touchdown to get the score to the final 2-1. Micro Queens, the blitzer, made a vanity pass on turn 16 to level up. I haven't decided what to pick since I want to wait who my opponent will be. And he has given me the breakdowns of the levels from 4, so I can have a look at this nice and easily. Thank you, Yasinde, for that. So he's finished with a 12-man team, and he is going into the playoff, of course. He has got 170,000 as well, which he's going to have to use at least some of that to get his team down. As he likes to foul, we may even see another lineman. Or we could see something crazy like a goblin. That could be fun, though not very likely. So he has got the 2 level ups. Let's have a look. 1 Mighty Blow Blitzer leveled up, this one, and has been given Tackle, because my vegetables are playing Woodies next. This was after week 4. And the Black Orc leveled up and got Block, and that's it. And Micro Creans, he hasn't decided. He wants to see who his opponent is, which is sensible. So, yeah. Yasinde, of course, is in the Gold League as well. I don't know, I think he's been enjoying Orcs, so it'll be interesting to see which team he does decide to pick. I don't want to try and guess which way. I could see him going either way, to be honest, and either way would be sensible. And Diving Tackle Blitzer. Well, I don't know, something like Strip Ball could be fun, but... Or you could, of course, go something boring like Mighty Blow or Guard, etc. Anyway, so Yasinde won all 5 games, and he's gone 5-0-0. So I wouldn't be surprised if he does continue this team after the playoff. We'll see what happens there. That's it for team number 5. Alright, and finally then, team number 6 in Division D. I was on the wrong page, sorry. So Svarho joined late. He actually joined in the last 3 weeks. So he played me last week, lost 2-1, and he played the Orcs this week, and also unfortunately lost 2-1. So that was a bit unfortunate. This team was really unlucky for him. This game, sorry, was really unlucky for him. He rolled a lot of bad dice. The one reroll hurt him as well. But I think he played well considering the situation, and I basically demolished his team, so felt a little bit sorry at the end of that. Prince of Hell went 2 touchdowns, 9 armor breaks, and level up on Sarragan the Beastman. And Dancing Gestures of Afel went 1 touchdown, 2 passes, a death, which was a War Dancer. Yes, it was. Who died while attempting a dodge, and 4 armor breaks. Even though I only had 9 armor breaks, almost all of them were devastating, and he actually managed to armor break himself a few times when he was dodging, etc. as well. And Lineman got MVP but didn't level up. So SPP, we've already seen my team, but 10, 14, 17, I'm going to count it again for some reason, and 8, 9, 10. 8, 9, 10. Then last week we've already seen the Orcs, so I'm not going to go through the whole thing again. And 1 touchdown, 1 pass, 2 armor breaks. I actually recorded this with my game before I recorded my game, so if I repeated myself, then I apologise. And loner lineman got the MVP. We'll see if he got bought. And 589. Just to remind ourselves, let's have a look at the team itself. He's down to a 10-man roster. And the 10-man roster has been slapped around quite a lot, must admit. So he's gone dodge on the lineman that leveled up at some point, and he's gone block on a catcher. I don't think you remember there before. This minus movement, I'm pretty sure, was from the game against me, and this niggle as well, actually, unfortunately. I think they were both caused by me, or the game against me. The War Dancer is still missing, and he didn't buy the loner because he couldn't afford him. Fair enough. He did buy a reroll at some point, though. That's interesting. So, we've got 60 in the bank, and 10-man roster. Yeah, I'm not sure if I'm going to see this team continue into bronze, but I hope he does, just because it's not too bad for a Wood Elf team. You can replace the War Dancer relatively quickly, or you can survive with just one even. You don't actually need the two. It was a bit of a rough start, but they can grow from here. At least your catcher's leveled up, so that's the start. And we finished the league with 1 win, 2 losses because he joined halfway through. So, there we go. That's it for the teams. Let's have a look at the results. Just to close off then, looking at the leaderboard for C, we've finished very close to what I predicted, I think. I think I said the Wood Elf team was going to struggle. Svaho, of course, joined late, so he doesn't even count as part of it, to be honest. No offense to Svaho, he played fine, but he joined late, so, you know, we didn't really get a chance to see him, and there was no prediction about him. And everything else went pretty much as I said. The Orcs are at the top. The 2 Chaos teams were playing off for second place, quite literally, because we are literally playing off in a friendly for the knockout. And then the Chaos Dwarves and Wood Elves are behind. The Wood Elf team was an outside chance, but I did say they were going to struggle in this league, and they did. The Norse were also an outside chance, but of course they're gone and were replaced by the second Wood Elf team. So predictions are pretty much right. Ysinde had a perfect season with 5 wins for his Orcs, so congratulations Ysinde. He automatically goes to the KO. The 2 Chaos teams actually drew, literally. We have the exact same colours, we have the exact same team, and we have the exact same record. Now we have to play each other to see who goes through to the knockout. Chaos Dwarves came in third with 2 wins and 3 losses, and the 2 Wood Elf teams are at the bottom. Svaho only played 2 games. He managed to win one of them, so there is that. No, he didn't, sorry. He actually lost both his games, didn't he? Yeah, he has the record from the Norse team as well, to be fair, though. So one of these games was an admin victory. Oh, he actually played 3 games, because he came for the Wood Elf match, but they didn't actually manage to play it. That's true. So he played 3 games, technically. So he got 1 win and 2 losses. And then Scuff, at the bottom, he's basically become an admin loss, as I said. He's gone right at the bottom with 5 losses, of course. He is out of the league. So that's it for Division C. Let's move on to Division D. Alright then, moving on to Division D then. We've got Nightmare on Elf Street against Dons, and Dons managed to win. This is Necromantic and Dark Elf. Andy's against Anders. There we go then. Andy's against Anders, and Andy's managed to win. Oh, this is confusing. Andy's managed to win 1-0. And I lost it now. There we go. Okay, so Anders. And Slightly Salty Luces, which is Undo, managed to beat Krog's Crushers from Kerus 2-1. This is also Dark Elves against Orcs. And Rylock's Touch New Balls beat Something Spelt Wrong's Cheese Demons. So there's week 4. And in week 5, Rylock went up against Andy's. This was going to be the big game of the week, and Andy's managed to take it 2-0, which I think puts both of them at the top of the leaderboard. In fact, I'm sure. And Something Spelt Wrong's Cheese Demons against Undo Slightly Salty Luces ended in a 2-2 draw, And Krog's Crushes, K-Rooz's Orcs managed to beat Anders Dark Elves Nightmare on Elf Street 2-1. That's it for the games. Let's have a look at the actual teams. Let's see how they did. Alright, starting with team number 1 then. Anders Nightmare on Elf Street. And let's start with the actual games. So they went 1-0, 0-1 sorry, and 1-2 in their 2 games respectively. In the first game, I don't think I've had a rundown of this game. In fact, I haven't, I'm sure of it. We had 10 armor breaks, and Pennywise got man of the match, leveling him up. He's a runner. And Andy's got 1 touchdown, 16 armor breaks, and the werewolf MVP'd, but no level up. We'll have a look at that later though. And SPP, we've gone 5-2-2, so that's 9 and 12. And in this week against the Orcs from K-Roozer, they lost 2-1, 1 touchdown, 2 passes. The same runner got MVP, that's interesting, and 2 armor breaks. 2 touchdowns, pass, 10 armor breaks, and Black Orc gets man of the match, but we'll have a look at that team in a moment. Right, let's have a look at the team, let's have a look at the SPP. 7, 10, 12, and lots. 10, 12, 17, 18. Let's have a look at the actual Dark Elf roster then. Where have they finished? So, the runner was given accurate, which is a strange choice for a runner, but there we go. Pass usually comes first, but accurate is fine. And, can't remember if both witches had block. I think they both did have block, to be fair, so there's nothing else new. The team ends with a roster of 12, 1 person out injured on a miss next game. We could see this team promote. It's looking good, but it hasn't really developed much, so interesting to see whether Anders wants to continue with this Dark Elf team or not, basically. 40,000 in the bank, but we're not going to do anything with that, I think. Maybe one more team reroll eventually. That's about the only thing I can see him particularly spending money on now. And over the course of the season, he's gone 1-0-4. So there we go. That's team number 1. Moving on to team number 2 then. Slightly Salty Loses Undo Blashrook. He played against the Orcs, Krogs, Crushes, and the Cheese Demons in the last 2 weeks. He went 2-1 against the Orcs and 2-all draw with the Skaven team. Let's have a look at the first match first. 2 touchdowns, 12 armor breaks, and 10 on the zombie. The MVP leveled him up. And Black Orcs went 1 touchdown, 1 pass, 1 death. Interesting to see if there's an Orc in this team. And 12 armor breaks. Black Orc leveled up. We'll have a look at that in a minute. And Slightly Salty Loose has got lots this match. So 5, 11, 13, 15, 17, 19 against 11. And their last game, the Rats had 2 touchdowns, 3 armor breaks, and Storm Vermin MVP'd. And White got an MVP and leveled up. 2 touchdowns, 16 armor breaks, and an expulsion. There was some fouling in this game. 11 for the Rats, and 7, 9, 11, 13, 16, 19 for the Necromantic Slightly Salty Losers. Let's have a look how the team finished off then. They've got 130,000 in the bank that they could spend on something, though not very likely. They've got a full 12-man roster. They've got an 11-man roster plus a bench, a zombie bench, because they have a dirty player. That makes perfect sense. One of the Whites leveled up. I think it was this one. He's been given dodge. Could have been everyone though. And one of the zombies leveled up, and he was given dirty player. So that's the story of this team. And the Ghoul's been given block. I don't think it had block before. The Werewolf had block already, and I think the Mighty Blow was already there as well. So could be wrong though, because lots of leveling happened, lots of SPP happened in the last 2 games. The Necromantics are looking good actually. At the end, I don't know if Undo wants to continue with his Dark Elves though. I assume he will. I think Necromantics were just a little aside, and I don't think he's going to continue with them, but I might be wrong. And he finished 1-2-2. So not great, but not awful. 1-2-2 for team number 2. Alright then, so breakdown for this game. This is week 4, isn't it? Yes, it is. We've got Undo Slightly Salty Losers versus K-Rooz's Krogs, Crushers, or when your armor breaks are better than opponent's ones. 12 armor breaks versus 12 armor breaks result in 4 injury, and 2 KO versus 1 injury and 4 KO. First half K's Orcs scored last turn and all look set for an easy victory, but SSL? Not sure what that stands for. Overturned the result, winning 2-1 after some unfortunate Orc rolls in the last couple of turns. At the end of the game... Slightly Salty Losers, that's what it stands for. Okay. Slightly Salty Losers gladly received a new recruit, bit of a forceful conscription, but hey, no one is perfect, and feel the moniker leveled up, getting more dirty in the process. Yes, so we did take the Orc, I forgot to mention that as well, I forgot to check that in the end. And having a look at number week 5, let's just get to that first. We have Cheese Demons something versus Slightly Salty Losers. Undo. First half was a disaster for Slightly Salty Losers. Bad plays and rolling ones don't mix together. 0-2 at half time. Wow. Cheese Demons having a blast and controlling the pitch without a problem. Second half though, Necros start to push and hit harder. They clear 6 rats out of the pitch and set an easy route for an early touchdown and set the pressure high for the second. And it happened after an amazing zombie dodge and double GFI. 2-2 final score. And yes, the White with dodge, the Ghoul with block, and the Zombie with dirty player were the 3 level ups in this team. Okay, that's it for Team 2 and Team 3. Team number 3 goes to Rylock and Touch Near Balls. Let's have a look at his 2 games that he played. He went 2-0 against Something's Cheese Demons, and he went 0-2 against Andy's DONZ. In the first game then, we had 13 hour breaks, 2 touchdowns, and a pass. Lineman Toradil got MVP. Let's see if he was bought, because he did actually level up from that with 7. And we had a death from the rats, a pass, and 6 armor breaks. I just realized that I had some match breakdowns from Undo, so I'll go back and have a look at them in just a minute. And I don't have any for this game though. In terms of SPP, we got 7, 10, 14, 24, and we've got 6. And in the game against DONZ, also no breakdown I believe. 2 armor breaks, that's all on the side. War Dancer got MVP though. And touchdown, 17 armor breaks and expulsion for the Werewolf. So 7, that's a level up for the War Dancer. And 9, 11, 14, 17. Couldn't count for a second then. Having a look at the team then. Toradil was bought and he got injured last game apparently. So he's got dodge. We have a kick that was there before. We have a guard that was there before, and I think this tackle is new. It is. This is the War Dancer leveled up. So strip ball and mighty blow tackle. Well, Rylock's in the Gold League with his lizards. I don't particularly see him taking this team into bronze as opposed to gold, though I may be wrong. I think he's more likely to keep his lizards though. And he's taken 2 stat busts, and there may be a niggle here as well. Let's have a quick look. This next game. This next game, no niggle, okay. But we have 2 stat breaks, and we have 70,000 in the bank, so he could buy 1 more lineman if he wants to complete the roster. He's going to go into the playoffs with the 3-1-1 record anyway. So that's it for team number 3. Just going to go back and do the breakdowns of the games from Undo. Moving on to team number 4 then, we have the Cheese Demons with something spelt wrong, and their 2 games against the Wood Elves and the Necromantic team. Let's have a look then at this one again. So we've already looked at the Wood Elves, so let's just have a look at these. We had 1 pass, a death, and 6 armor breaks, with Gutter Runner leveling up from MVP. And we had 6. Okay. Looking at the team roster then. So, no, not looking at the team roster. I'm getting ahead of myself again. This is confusing with 2 weeks, sorry. Right, so, and this game, have a look at this team again. So 2 touchdowns, 3 armor breaks, and Storm Vermin got SPP, but no level up, and Bree got 6 as well. Now let's have a look at the team. Right then. I'm not entirely sure, well obviously Bree is new, but it hasn't been done. Where was the Gutter Runner with 20? So he was given catch. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Rat Ogre with minus agility, not sure if that happened recently or before. And does this stay as a minus agility? It does, doesn't it? It stays here like this. Yes, okay, just checking, sorry. And then we've got a niggle on the gutter runner here. We've got a miss next game on the line rat, and we've got a minus movement on a second line rat. 70,000 in the bank. Could replace one of the busted line rats if he wants to. Sorry, the busted line rat, or he could buy a brand new line rat. He's lost a gutter runner though. It looks like one of his gutter runners was killed, so he's probably saving up to replace that, and he needs 10,000 more. Not much more to say about this team really. Nothing overly exciting. This team hasn't really developed as well as I think something would have liked. Losing the gutter runner was obviously hard. I don't remember the gutter runner, but I think he was one of the level pieces, which makes it even harder. Ratto only getting 2 is pretty sucky, and minus agility, though it's not such a big deal. I don't know, it'll be interesting to see if he does if he does keep this team or if he decides to let them go. And he ended the season 1-1-3. That's it for team number 4. Alright, team number 5 is Andy's Necromantic D-O-N-Z, or Dons, I'm not sure exactly how to say it. He played against Undo and he played against Rylak. We've seen both these GAT matches, and there was only the breakdown from Undo. So let's have a reminder of what happened here. There was a touchdown, 16 armor breaks, and he got 12 in total. And in this match, his team again, 2 touchdowns, 17 armor breaks, and expulsion. Wow, we had some fouling from Andy's. That's impressive. I don't see that often. 9, 11, 17. So quite a lot, actually, in total. Both Wolves have got block. I don't think any of them had block before, so both of them I think are new. Fleshies are both 1 away from leveling. We got a dodge on a white. And we got plus strength. I think that's new as well. I think the mighty blow is there though. And I think the block zombie wasn't there before either, so that's a lot of leveling, in theory. So what do we got here? We're missing 1, 2, 3, 14 minus 3 is 11, so we've got a full team with Werewolf out for 1 game. Is it just miss next or is it niggle? Just miss next. I know that Andy's is actually debating whether to keep the Dwarves or whether to take this team on. He has enjoyed this team, so we may see him continue. Depends how he does in the knockout, because of course he has won this division with 4 wins and a loss. That's it for team number 4. I said team number 4 at the end then, I of course meant team number 5. And moving on to team number 6 then. Keiru's new to the league, and his Krogs Crushers. He came in the second week, if I remember rightly, replacing one of the people who dropped out. No, he came in the first week, replacing someone who dropped out. He still came in as a replacement though, that's for certain, and he's done very well. Having looked at the last 2 games then, we've got the Undo Slightly Salty Looses. I've already looked at it. I've already looked at them all, of course. We had a touchdown, a pass, a def, and 12 armor breaks. Not sure what the def was, it'd be interesting to see what that was. We had 11 in SPP. And then, of course, we saw the game against Anders as well, with 2 touchdowns, pass, 10 armor breaks, and Black Hawk's got the MVP in both games. And, yeah, this was the lot 10, 12, 21. I can count, I think. Right, he's one of these people who leaves a lot of gaps, making it hard to count. I think this is a 12-man roster. Yeah, there's 4 gaps, so 12-man roster. None of the Black Orcs are dead, unless he's replaced one. Not likely, with 120,000. It looks like he just lost a lineman, which isn't a big deal. And it looks like he's already replaced it too. He didn't have a goblin. No, I don't think so. So yeah, looks like he's just lost and replaced the dead lineman. So what's new here then? I think at least one of these blocks is new, maybe both. No, I think Krog already had the block, to be fair. And I don't think this tackle was here. I'm pretty sure this strength wasn't here. I'm pretty sure this mighty blow was. The dirty player I don't remember, but it's certainly plausible, and the thrower block, I think that was already there. Yeah, I can see Keiru's keeping this team. They've developed really nicely, especially on the blitzers. The thrower's going in the right direction, the Black Hawks are going in the right direction with another one away. And he's got 120,000 to spend, so even if he does unluckily lose another piece, he can replace them. Too many linemen, for my opinion. I don't really like this kind of orc setup, but each to their own. And maybe if we see more dirty players, we'll see more linemen. Don't know, we'll see how that goes with the orc team. He finished with a 3-0-2 record. That's it for week number 6. Let's have a look at the leaderboard at the end of the season. If I remember rightly, I put Ryluk and Keirus at the end as the top 2, and they are in the top 3, with Andes and Undo as an outside chance. So it's gone pretty much as I predicted in this division at least. And yeah, Andes has won outright with 4-1. Ryluk has come close second with 3-1-1. And he's winning that last game, of course, made this record for Ryluk with his 1 loss. The Orcs came in close third, really close third actually, with 3 wins and 2 losses. That's quite unfortunate. And then we've got Undo in clear 4th, 1-2-2. Cheese Demons in clear 5th something with 1-1-3. And Nightmare on Elf Street in clear last with 1-0-4. So Andes and Ryluk are promoting to the playoff. And once the playoff is done, I will have a look at all the teams again, just to remind us of who's there, and make some more predictions. But that's it for this rundown. Thank you very much for watching, and I'm sorry for changing the format halfway through, but, well, after the first division, I didn't like the first format. I preferred the second format, so I stuck with it. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll follow up soon with the pyramid, I'm sure. See you guys on the pitch, in Discord, etc. soon. Bye bye for now.